Welcome back here. This is the final game of the round robin, and this is featuring the battle of the undefeated squads, Team Black taking on Team Red. We're going to do some player roster introductions, starting with Black to my left. The defense, number 13, Brecklin Berry. Number 23, Logan Florent. Number 24, Cody Kolchiski. Number 14, Ollie Purdy from Benson, Saskatchewan. Number 2, Cyrus Shell. And rounding out that group from Bigger, Ryland Silvernagel, wearing number 16. Your forwards, number 11, Levi Baker out of Regina. Number 12, Kalen DeSato from Esteban. Number 7, Gray Fraser. Carlisle's own number 17, Jordan Hewitt. Number 21, Nolan Keane from Prince Albert. Keaton Koschuk, number 8. Number 9, Brooks Thompson. Number 6, Jax Trombley out of Esteban. And number 20, Keir Kendrick, playing from Nipawin. And the goaltenders, Dexton Higgs from Saskatoon and Quinn Hilmer out of Pilot Butte. Team Red, the introductions of their team, the defense, number 44, Beckett Boak from Moose Jaw. Mason Boulier out of Martensville. Rory Fitch, wearing number 17. Finn Johnston, number 25, from Esterhazy. From Regina, number 8, Dominic Miazik. And from Saskatoon, number 16, James Schuller. Pardon me. And your forwards, number 77, Jace Benishak from Moose Jaw. Number 13, Avery Bernauer. White City's number 14, Porter Colhoun. From Carlisle, Saskatchewan, number 7, Kip Geiger. Boone Hamilton wearing number 4. Number 96, Camden Ludwar, playing out of Melville. Number 97, Alexei Mihailovich from Regina. Number 10, Reed Scheidel, coming to you from Nipawin. And number 22 out of Saskatoon, Declan Volk. The goaltenders, Elijah Perry from Buffalo. We're going to say either Pound or Narrows. It just says Buffalo. So, and then number 31, Hunter Wehage from Martensville. Those are your rosters for today's game. And as mentioned, these 32 young men are going to be playing for the right to go undefeated in the round robin and have a chance to play in that 1-4 game tonight in the semifinals. And then we're going to move on to the 2-3 game, which will be taking place in the second of the 2 semis. And then, of course, tomorrow will be our will be our medal round games with bronze medal first thing in the morning on Sunday morning and the gold medal. So on paper, this could be what you're looking at for the gold medal game, although both teams in that earlier contest do have the firepower to score as well. And we've seen at UMH-68 dramatic turnarounds from teams that go 0 in the round robin, then turning around and pouring it on when it counted and winning this whole thing. So nothing's for certain here, but this is going to be an exciting contest. Last one came right down to 27 seconds left in the game, and if you were watching that, or if you did get a chance, go and take a look at the highlight from game number 5, and you will see a save from young goaltender Nagy out of Team Gray, and it probably will stand as the highlight of the game there. Just fantastic. Any league you go to, that would have been the highlight of the night for sure. But our focus now is on Black taking on Team Red. We, of course, can't run this event without the assistance of a number of supporters. At the national level, we're happy to have BioSteel once again joining us. They are your national partners. Teams can score exclusive BioSteel starter kits by going onto the BioSteel and loading the BioSteel Teams app. Download the BioSteel Teams app now on the App Store. We're also happy and enjoy 4 gold level sponsors. They are Up My Hockey's podcast, A-Cane Hockey, and Elite Prospects, all 4 of which core partners in providing this UMH series across Western Canada. And it's a growing market for invitational tournaments of this nature. The Saskatchewan edition is a under 14 style competition, so all 2013 age group kids. And we will tell you who the starting goaltenders are once we get up and running. And we're down to puck drop being the next thing, the horn sounding, and we've got our officials out ready to go. Also stay tuned, we're going to be able to have an opportunity to have a conversation with Hugh Hamilton, who is the provincial director based out of here in Martensville. Hugh is a local hockey celebrity, having been an executive with the Martensville Minor Hockey Board. He has an amazing professional resume, working and playing in both AHL and ECHL, and a gold medal from the 1997 World Junior Hockey Championships. And so he's got an impressive pedigree, and we'll have an opportunity to get his reflections on what this event means to his family and to his community, and how rekindling a long-standing relationship with Jason Podollan brought this event to Saskatoon, or pardon me, to the Saskatoon area here in Saskatchewan. And it looks like it's had a firm grip on the hockey culture here in Martensville and in Saskatchewan, and we're looking forward to seeing this continue on in the years to follow. So we'll get a chance to chat with him. But before that, we're going to get 20 minutes of hockey here between two talented, high-scoring teams. So the goaltenders in both instances are going to be under fire here, and we'll see who they elect to start with. It looks like Team Red's going to come out of the gate with Hunter Wehage, who had the first game yesterday, and it's a familiar rink to him, the 105-pound goaltender out of Martensville. And 200 feet away in net for Team Black will be Quinn Hilmer out of Pilot Butte. And he had a lot of action in his first game yesterday too. That draw up to Ludmar, and he is already off, and we're going to have a delayed offside here. Team Red crossing the line a little bit too quickly, and we're going to see probably a much more physical contest here. Team Red has really spent a fair amount of time laying the body during the tournament. Team Black certainly not shy of doing it themselves, and leading the way on that front is Calder Hamilton, or pardon me, not Calder, his younger brother Boone, wearing the number 4. Boone gets the first opportunity, and he rifles that right straight into Hilmer's guts. And as a goaltender, it's probably the first touch is always the most important, so he was up to the challenge, and I think Hamilton wasn't expecting to have that close an opportunity that early in the game, and he's only able to fire it right straight into the midsection of Hilmer. And picking up where we left off, we are now Thompson in Black, and his puck picked up by Geiger. Geiger has had a really strong tournament, a very large physical presence, and he carries a lot of speed, a very hard quick release shot, and he is one guy that you're going to want to keep an eye on defensively. Here's Boak to Scheidel. Scheidel playing out of Nipawin, and he evades a check opportunity, and Barry now comes up with it. Barry with a little mini 1-on-1, 2-on-1, and they can't quite pull the trigger on that one. And so already both teams showing a willingness to, and a surprising speed. They can turn this game into a scoring opportunity almost in a moment's notice. Stays a tell with the shot wide, and that'll get steered out. An attempt to chip it out. Hewitt, he had a multi-goal game earlier in the tournament, and he will be looking to add to that performance. Here's Hewitt now taking a look up ice. He elects to headman it up to his partner. And we're just going to get reacquainted with the numbers here as we see who's playing with Hewitt. And that, I think, is Scheidel. And Desatel puts a little bit of a body onto Calhoun. And the puck now up the ice again. The opportunity, Bernauer now out with his line 8 Calhoun. We're going to see whether they've had Team Red, the only one that has really moved the lines around a little bit as they have applied their strategy. Schuler out on defense. And we've got Bernauer, Calhoun, and Mihailovic. And a nice glove save right there, courtesy of Hunter Wehage. And you can hear he's got a good turnout here, the hometown goaltending opportunity for Wehage. And now Silvernagel lines up on the, Silvernagel had a nice goal from his defensive spot earlier in the tournament. And he'll be adding and looking to add that. Ludwar there chips it forward to Hamilton. Hamilton brings it out of the corner, and he gets it right in front. Ludwar scores, and that was quick. Hamilton pulling it up. Those two, a very tough combination to put any kind of front towards. Johnson joining in on the defensive side of things, and then of course Mihailovic had some goals there as well, but a little bit of maybe some intimidation as Hamilton was able to pretty much watch scot-free out of the corner there in an opportune time, and he sees Ludwar, and Ludwar wastes no time with the spin and the score. So Red starting up right where they left off yesterday, putting pucks in the net. And Ludwar, you're going to get him for a head contact there. He followed through. He probably gets what he needed just with the contact there, but it was the follow through with his hands. And the officials have done a very good job. They're not preventing them, but they are certainly penalizing when the checks have been getting a little higher. And of course, spring hockey being the first time these fellas have been able to start to put some body onto each other. I believe in the minor season they would have been still in the no contact spot, but this age group now, once they get to spring, and in this being one of those spots, now finally getting the opportunity to involve a little physicality. And so as they learn this, our officials have done a good job of flagging it every single time it happens, and now Team Red finds themselves on their heels, and Black has an opportunity. Shell here feeds it down low. Thompson looking down with his partner from the whole thing, Baker. Baker will chip it up. Puck dropped back down to Barry. And Baker now in the corner, and we'll see. And he's stripped of the puck. Red will clear it, and it goes off a referee, and Block will have to turn around and work their way back to him. Shell and Barry both back. Shell getting that pass out from Barry, and Barry can't get it past the defender there, and he puts him right straight back in. But Barry's going to get a little head of steam here and see if he can't get entry into the zone for his team, and he does, in fact. He brings it down, curls, and chips it over. Puck now on Baker's stick. Baker taking a look. Very patient up there on the line. These guys know what they're doing in a power play situation. Puck put in front to Baker, but he can't capitalize. Now Baker spins, takes the shot. That one goes off the Red defender. And he is a little slow getting up. And he's got it. Another shot, Baker. And Boak just taking it, and a shot and a goal. And Beckett Boak just kind of, he wore the brunt of that shift. But Black showing that they've got some scoring punch as well. They get a power play marker from Thompson. And she's tie game now with 4 minutes, 15 seconds gone. And this has every promise of being a high-scoring affair. And so Calhoun, Bernauer, and Mihailovic line up against the Hewitt. The Hewitt line with Keane and, I'm trying to remember, Desatel. And as you look up and down the line, it's hard-pressed to find anybody who hasn't actually scored a goal in this tournament. The depth of the scoring on both of these things. Silvernagel out there, he had a goal in the first game. Hewitt had a pair in the morning contest, and he's looking to add to that. And he's got nice save there by Wehade. And he keeps his team even there, and Hilmer will just happily cover it. But as you look up and down the line, you can distinctly look at those previous games, and they've all got goal scoring history at the tournament. Boone Hamilton taking a draw here. Yesterday he played a lot of wing there, and it's just deciding that he's going to let Kendrick know that he's out on the ice surface, and even though he's playing on the center spot, he's going to continue his play. Johnston now chipping it forward, and Hamilton, of course, is looking at using that body as part of his level of play. And his older brother watching on as one of the ambassadors for Team Black. You know, the interesting to see the Hamiltons have their fingerprints all over this tournament, of course. Han Booner, he got a player of the game nod yesterday in the grit and grind in the first thing, and he also won a star, and they were well earned. Johnston now taking a chop at it in the corner. Puck comes back now to Gray Fraser, who dropped back momentarily, and Florent resumes his spot back on the point. Fraser, Kendrick, and Thompson. Thompson, one of the goal scorers. And that puck chipped in. Oh, there's Thompson. And Thompson now in pursuit, and Team Red, Hamilton. And Hamilton, he stood up by Florent. Florent, well played there, made a stand at the blue line, and Hamilton has to turn back. Thompson now for Team Black, and he can't beat that puck to the goal line, and that goes as an icing, and out comes Kolcheski and Florent. They are looking for a little bit of a breather, and they're going to have to go back out, thanks in part to the icing call. And now they got to line up against Benishak, Scheidel, and Geiger. And Geiger, who took the draws yesterday on a different line combination, is now out as a winger. So Team Red probably the most varied in their combinations. And why not? You're going to get an opportunity to get these chances to play. Benishak played some wing yesterday, and now he gets a chance probably to play a more familiar role at center. And Geiger more than happy to go and do his part, I'm sure, as a winger option. And that might be even scarier to think about, the fact that he's going to get a head start, whereas yesterday he had to generate a lot of his forward play from playing that defensive role as a center. Now he's up as a winger, and he's going to apply that skill, and there he is on that far board. Takes a look for the outlet pass to Scheidel, and Scheidel now will make his opportunity, and he was lined up by Kostyuk, but Scheidel content to just drop it in and then make a change, and Bernauer coming out for him. Baker can't corral the puck, and now Geiger, and watch Geiger wind up here. He's deadly when he is able to get some speed, and they're allowing him a lot of speed there in the neutral zone. And well played there. So far he hasn't been allowed to walk past that blue line without having some contact, and that was Barry able to steer him aside. And there's Calhoun and Bernauer both working their way. So this is a different line combination as well. Volk, Bernauer, and Calhoun. Calhoun having a couple of goals in the first game in the tournament. And that puck moved across quite quickly. Team Red seemingly having a great chemistry. Doesn't matter who they put in and how they put them in together. And nice long shot from Mazik. And that'll see a change in play. Dominic Miazik out of Regina taking that long shot right into the guts of Hilmer. And so we're going to get the draw here from Boone Hamilton. And now we've got Ludwar, the goal scorer, with that heavy shot from the point, and it's unable to get that puck out. And here's Mihailovic. Mihailovic loses his glove. We'll see. Well, hopefully he keeps his hand. Ludwar will take the shot. Mihailovic still without a glove, and then that can be a tough spot there. Hand's a pretty tender space there, and he gets it back, and he gets possession of the puck. So, and then he gets removed from the puck, and we've got equipment flying all over the place here early in this game. And now Kostyuk taking a look. He flips it forward off the back of the glass, and then he ends up down on the ice with Hamilton. And Silvernagel able to go, but here's Red now trying to regroup in the zone, and it's Miazik, and Miazik's going to go off for a change. And as is his defensive partner, Team Ludwart, just firing it straight back in. And Barry popping it forward. Pardon me, that's Purdy. And coming back, Purdy now taking a look up, and another run there. Hamilton just, he will hit anything in whatever color is not red, I think. He hasn't hit an official yet, but I'm sure he won't cross his mind. I would say as a bull, if he was a bull out there, but he's not going after red like the bull would do, but he certainly enjoys a little contact for sure. It's kind of fun to watch. And now a scrum down low, trying to dig it out. Kostyuk takes a chop at it, and it'll go, and he needed a break. And they wave that icing off, which is good news for Team Black because they were looking for a change there. Hewitt now turns, fires it off. Johnson, it hits him in the chest plate, and he will happily gather it up and get a little momentum. The outlet pass straight out to Red. Mihailovic, he ends up down on the ice. Well, that wasn't Mihailovic. I think that, I'm trying to remember, 77 Jason Benishuk, sorry. And Scheidel loses his stick, and there's just, it's fun to watch them incorporate this part of their game after having to be so patient during the regular season. They knew that spring hockey and spring opportunities were going to bring some of this chance to incorporate the body contact style. And there's Calhoun now. And Calhoun patiently on his backhand taking a look, looking up, he's got Boak. And Scheidel now chops back at it. Calhoun in the corner, back to Boak. And Boak, oh, tipped there. That might have been a high stick. I'm not sure if that would have gone through, but Geiger, oh, and Geiger's down hard. He is a tough cookie, but that one did not feel very good. Probably right on the neck in an awkward spot, and we hope that he's doing okay. He seems to be favoring a shoulder. We're happy that we've got Bames physiotherapy here, and he'll get an opportunity to get a look at before they let him back out onto the ice, I'm sure. But that's a tough one to watch. But he is, as you said, a tough customer, and I wouldn't doubt he's going to be back out there taking a look at how he can impact on the game moving forward. Kostyuk now feeds across to Thompson. Thompson, the goal scorer for Team Black. And down in deep, that puck, Bernauer dials it in deep to Volk, but he can't chip it out, and it ends up back on Barry's stick. Volk now able to get it. A good quick turnaround by Bernauer and Schell. Bernauer finishes the check on Schell. And here is Volk. And I'm looking down there on Team Red's bench so far. I haven't seen number 7 come back, but they will give him a good check over. They did move him over to a wing spot, and that might be a little harder to line juggle, so the coaches are going to have some working with 8 forwards until he returns back. There is Ludmar. He's the goal scorer for Team Red. Volk can't quite catch up. Barry now making a rush, but he is stripped of the puck. And that goes up to Ludwart, and Ludwart can't get past Schell, and now that puck is put deep by Miazik. And an opportunity for some change of personnel. Mihailovic now jumping on, and Mihailovic on with a couple of new partners, and there's Ludwart, and we've got ourselves a 2-on-1. Bernauer, he's got a wide open look at it, and well played by defender and goaltender there. Hilmer able to focus entirely on the shot, and he just makes the easy pad save. Now Gray Fraser, we'll see what kind of speed he's got. He's being tracked down by 2 guys. Fraser gets the shot off. He did well there with 2 people gaining ground on him, but he's just high. And get an idea of the speed and skill of these guys. He had the drop on them, and they were able to get there, and he just got that shot off a little bit under duress. Maybe would add a little time. There's Hewitt now, and Hewitt with the quick release. And Wehedge was able to just flash the lever. And out come Johnson and Schuler, play defense for Team Red, and we're going to get a change of defensive partner and a whole line. DeSoto, the line of DeSoto, Hewitt, and looking over that far, there's been a little bit of adjustments there. Desatel chips it into the corner. Keene, who scored a goal in the second game yesterday, that shot low. And now back down, Silvernagel just directing it back over. Johnson calmly picks it up and dishes it out. Desatel providing a little bit of pressure, and now coming out of the neutral zone, Keene, he's stopped up, but he gets a shot down. Easy pad save there by Wehage. And that puck chipped up, Barry stuck there, and we got a little bit of a break. Oh, Hewitt looking, I think he thought he might have been hooked there, but just a good defensive play, I feel. And Keene, now Keene takes it into the corner. Mihailovic is taking an opportunity to come in there and get in, and Hewitt, he's not satisfied with the outing that he had the last time around, and couldn't get past Johnson, and Johnson able to jump into the play a little bit here too. Scheidel now with the forecheck pressure, and that pops the puck loose, but here's Desatel feeding it across, and we're gonna get a penalty here. And the call on the ice is a slash with 4:57 to go in the game. Mihailovic will go off, and it's going to be a Team Black man advantage here. We got a couple silver sponsors joining us, and they are Bird Juice and Buzz Wax. Bird Juice, this isn't another fragrance. It's quiet confidence behind the walk into the rink and the post-game strut. It's cologne for game changers, heartbreakers, and legends in the making. Team Black winning the face-off there. Thompson pops it into Baker, and that goes over the stick. And back, Cody Kolcheski and his partner Logan Florence going to have to go back, and they're regrouping. Baker up to Kolcheski. Kolcheski, his pass to Koscheck is deflected, and now Thompson, with a little bit of room, gets past Boak. Boak gets enough of a piece of them that they turn him back, and Florent will have to turn around and see if they can get entry again in a different way. This time they're going to try it from the left side, and Florent able to get in there, but he gets knocked slightly off the puck. But now Black getting that cycle down low. Koscheck will pick it up, and now they get themselves settled in, although now we've got a line change, and it's a 2-on-1. We'll see if Shell can get in there quickly. And Colhoun, he's rubbed and knocked off the puck there, and Barry showing a little upper body strength there, upends him, and now he's got the puck, and he's going to take it up for a walk and see if he can get a little bit of momentum here. Gray Fraser can't stop that slapper, and we're down to 40 seconds to go in the power play and 3:30 left on the clock. Oh, right in front to Bernauer. Bernauer fires it wide, low on the ice, and now here's Team Black working their way back up again. And Team Red able to block and defend. Mason Bollier, the local product, providing the stout defense there for Team Red. And Bernauer now down. A little bit of a lull in action here almost. We had a pretty intense couple of minutes, and now the teams seem to have been a bit falling asleep. We'll see if one of them wakes up in time to break the deadlock here. 1-1. This is a bit of a surprise. We'd expect him. And there we go. That's Hewitt with, or pardon me, that's, looks like it was Barry with the shot. Brecklin Barry out of Saskatoon. And he scores on the 8th shot on net. That's power play marker. I think he may have gotten that as power play. It could have been right at the end of it. I wasn't sure. Either way, there's the spark they need, and we'll see if Red takes the invitation to get back into the game too. Both teams sort of kind of fell apart. And yeah, there's Ludwar. Ludwar's like, nope, we're not going to let you have that break. And Hilmer stands his ground with the save on Ludmar. Ludmar almost got back and took that. We've seen that a few times where a goal against seems to be the stimulus to get them going. Ludwar jumping in there, but we've had fantastic goaltending throughout the tournament, just solid, consistent play, and that was a good example of it with Hilmer there. Now we got a 2-on-1, we'll see. And that was a great defensive breakup there And up the ice comes Keene. That 2-on-1, Silvernagel just calmly played that position, a good active stick, and that snuffed that out. And now Mihailovic back down there. Keene feeds it back. I think that's Barry on the point, and trying to get that puck through. Both defenders proving to be a challenge. And just snagged it right out of the air, Wehage. And $1:48 to go. 10 shots on goal for Black, 8 for Red, and that might be the difference here, just a slight advantage in shooting. Team Red have really had their way pretty much throughout the entire tournament, and so this is going to be an interesting thing to see if they can play in a tighter game. That being said, they have shown explosiveness when they've had a chance. Team Blue actually played them very strong yesterday. And then in a 4-minute time span, Team Red blew that contest open. And so you have to be watchful. This team can score in bunches. But I felt yesterday Blue did a good job of really countering other than that 4 spot. But Red can score and they can hurt you physically if you aren't attentive. And just like that, Geiger proving the point. They make something pop out of nothing, and Geiger, you can't let him stand anywhere near there with the puck. He doesn't miss often, and I think that's his tournament lead. I'm going to count, I think, 6 goals for him. And he is having himself quite a weekend. And we are not even midway through the 5 games that he's going to get to play here. That's all right. Black will have an opportunity to counter, and it is a tie game here, even strength. So I think both coaches going into the break here, if this is what stands, we'll say if we've given them the option, this isn't a bad outing for either of them. But those are tough ones, those late goals in a period. If you're a coach, you got to love a guy like that who can score inside of the last 60 seconds. But take a look here. Look at this speed moving. But Johnson's a big-bodied defenseman. He is tough to get around. But here's Black. They have consistently Silvernagel with the long shot. And that brought down. But Team Black not going down without an effort of their own to see if they can have some advantages coming in off of that. And I'm going to correct who had that point shot. That one came courtesy, well, I think it was Silvernagel maybe. Or no, Trombley. We're going to say that was Trombley from the point, standing in on a spot, and he had a goal yesterday too. Who didn't have a goal yesterday from either of these squads? They were shooting the lights out here. Now a little bit tighter contest, and Hewitt looking for that puck, and Hewitt taking the turn, and he was getting lined up by Volk, but Hewitt wisely turned there, and Volk trying to take on 3 defenders, and he's having trouble. Colhoun now wings it around. 15 seconds to go. Time for a shot. And that one almost had eyes to work it around. Colhoun with 8 seconds to go here, and that puck is ringed around, and it is going to go down as a 2-2 tie. Black with a slight edge. 13 goals, or pardon me, 13 goals. 13 goals yesterday, perhaps, but 13 shots on goal to Reds 9, and a pair of goals on each. And we've got a tie game after 20 minutes. Stay tuned in a moment. We're hoping that we'll have a chance to talk to Hugh Hamilton, the provincial director of the tournament, and get his opinions on how the tournament's going and how things are working out for UMH-68 the second year. All right, welcome back to the broadcast, and we're pretty excited to have provincial coordinator for UMH-68, Hugh Hamilton, joining us again. And he's probably having more fun than I am, and that's saying a lot. Hugh, how's year 2 stacking up in comparison to your experience in your first year last year?
It's a lot more relaxing. There's a few little things. You and I were just talking, about the little things that once you've been through something once, it just makes it run a little smoother. You don't have to take as much time on things, and you've got the right people in the right spots, and I feel like we did a better job of that this year. Still a little more fine-tuning going into next year, but really happy and proud of how it's gone so far.
And what a great community to be able to host this in this beautiful recreation complex, and a lot of Martensville talent, and quite a few of that talent has the name Hamilton on the back. So what's this like this year? Last year it was just you and your wife, and this year it's a real family affair. You got Boone on the ice, and you've got Calder as one of the WHL ambassadors. What's that like as a dad and as an organizer?
Well, you and I are both teachers, and we talk about community a lot, and being able to host this in Martensville is pretty special. And on a grander scale, just even in Saskatchewan, I'm so proud of being from Saskatchewan and being from Martensville and being from a small town, and having my family involved. Having my boys here is really cool. My daughter's going to show up a little bit later as well to help out. So yeah, really that community feeling, and now just having my family here is pretty cool.
So after watching, and we've been remarking on how skilled these 13-year-olds are, and their opportunity to experience body contact for the first time. Where would you, as a 13-year-old, have fit in here? Would you have even been able to ice, be out there, or what would you have enjoyed as a player about the aspects that you see?
That's a really good question, because I know Jason, he didn't talk about it as much this year as he did last year, but he really nailed it on the head when he talked about, if I was to go to a tournament, this is what I would want as a kid. You get everybody looks the same, you got all the swag, you've got some off-ice sessions where you're learning about the game, you're learning about and talking about being a better human, and that's really what it's all about. So we didn't have cell phones back then, a lot of us didn't have artificial ice, I don't think, and so to be able to do this today, I can't even think about what that would have looked like 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty special. Hey, life is more than just hockey, and we've got a summer awaiting. What is the next 2 months looking like for you and the family?
Well, there's always a little bit of hockey. There's a bit of pre-planning that goes into this event. I'm going to coach, some in some way, shape, or form next year. I'm hoping to be with my daughter. But we'll definitely hit the lake, and hopefully we have some good weather.
Yeah, exactly. I hear it's supposed to be hotter than usual. But thanks again for joining us, and for involving all of us in this event too. It doesn't really happen without the foresight and vision that you and your family have carried out. So thanks, you.
Thanks, Davey.
both had to play a game style that they weren't familiar with too. All right, everybody, welcome back to the middle frame here of an exciting first place matchup here, battle of the undefeated teams between red and black. Fairly even period. Black perhaps putting a few more pucks on net, but red just with that explosiveness. Geiger with that late second, or that last couple of minutes goal. And we talk about both teams kind of being like a powder keg. Sometimes you can hold them for a while and keep them at bay, and then something breaks and 4 or 5 goals go in. So we're going to see which team is able to stay true to their scoring ability and stay true long enough and maybe be the benefactors of that. And we've got Geiger here already starting to work his way out, and a good shot right into the gut of Hilmer. And so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see as it builds if this score continues to stay 2-2. But what we saw yesterday in both instances, in games where Team Gray and Team Blue were able to hold a steady amount of time keeping the high-power offenses in check, and then 4 minutes of downtime was the big result. And so Team Black poured on 6 goals in an unanswered period in the game against Gray yesterday. And Team Red, of course, against Team Blue, same thing in the second period. Team Blue just kind of took their foot off the gas pedal for about 4 minutes, and that was enough time for Red to do a tremendous amount of damage. So both teams here are going to have to play 60 minutes if they're going to want. And that tip right there, whoa. And a lot of times it comes just out of something innocent like that, where Team Black took a moment and they took their mind and their eye off of Geiger in that case, and he put a puck on net that was a dangerously tipped by Mihailovic. Or I don't think that was Mihailovic, actually. It looked like it might have been coming off the stick of the tip there. Provided by Jason Benischuk, and Benischuk might have been the one who tipped that. Either way, the beauty of a tournament like this is they're getting experiences, and in this case, the experience being you're going to have to be very focused if you're going to want to win a game like this. in a career, and even on a thing here. Bollier chipping it back. Mihailovic with Hamilton trailing. Mihailovic putting a little pressure. And that puck chipped out. Gray Fraser puts it out, and here's Black now. And Black's got speed. They can score off the break. And Florent jumping into the play, and you can see certainly one thing we don't talk often about is the ambassadors that are included on the bench, and the ambassadors being, in this case, all four of us, very lucky. 4 ambassadors, all being WHL players, and you watch the influence they have there. For example, Calder Hamilton, who plays for the Calgary Hitmen as a defenseman, very defensive-minded, very offensive-minded defenseman, and we've seen a very active group of defenders here on Team Black. Watching Barry here, we'll see, case in point. He doesn't mind joining the rush, generating some offense, and that seems to be a hallmark of what we've been watching with Team Black. Thompson now, Brooks Thompson, the Saskatoon product. And his shot just wide. Kostyuk now popping in. Thompson looking to work his way out. Kostyuk and Baker exchanging positions here. Kostyuk goes up to Barry. Barry with a nice move comes in, and that shot steered aside by Wehage. And now Mihailovic. And now Kostyuk. He can't find any room, and he goes all the way back down and put into the stick. And it goes chipped forward by Barry. Or Baker, pardon me. Baker was able to chip it in, and now he goes for a change, and now it comes back to Barry. And Barry up to, everybody's Barry out there, according to me. There's Purdy. And Purdy dumps it in, and one lone man, that's Keane, going in, and Desatel tips it back in, and now Ludwar leads the charge out with his line of Volk and Colhoun. Pass a little bit behind Colhoun, and now we get a break up the ice, and we're looking at Keane. Keane and Desatel are both down there, and it's broken up by Colhoun. Hewitt in the trail. And he would be F3, I guess, according to Hockey Canada, that trail forward, and he came up with it, and Desatel and Hewitt. Purdy jumping in there for a second, but Hewitt, Desatel, and Keane playing the textbook, and now Colhoun driving, and he drives right across ice into the zone, and Volk there on the boards. He pinches, and now Volk forces Team Black to reverse the puck, and Hewitt now has to come down behind his goal line from his winger position, and he looks to get some space. That headman pass, and Geiger all over it. We're going to get a penalty against Team Red, and it's going to be a slash. And so Team Black's, one thing Red's going to have to keep an eye on is that you don't want to put Team Black on the penalty kill or on the power play too frequently. And there's Bennett Bulk is going to spend 2 minutes based off that slash, and so the penalty killers are going to be Scheidel and Geiger. And the first up on the power play for Team Black. And that shot, puck, face off won by Red and shot all the way down. And Hilmer, and that puck off a stick. Trombley was trying to get up and high over top of it, and he couldn't. Trombley mixing it up with Scheidel now. And there's Geiger, and Geiger, that's a pretty easy pick for a penalty killer. You're going to put a guy out there who can take care of things defensively, but he also still poses an offensive threat there. And Geiger almost tallies the shorty for Team Red. And now there's Gray Fraser down taking a look. He's looking for some support, and there's a backhand there, tip in front by Trombley. And Kendrick seeing his teammate there, and it gets brought all the way back down. And Team Red will get a fresh set of penalty killers out. And the first one being Benishuk, and wow, that one went through. And Benishuk coming off the line. You got a good look at that one from the PK spot, and Shell can't handle that hot pass, and he'll have to back up Barry now. Barry likes to rush it, and he finds a little bit of room, and now he's using this big frame. He's got entry, and he curls back. Thompson now. Thompson, wisely seeing nobody on the rebound side, elects to carry it and hold it. And now Shell just a little wide. Bit of a battle in front there. Kind of fun to watch Brooks Thompson and Johnson. Thompson and Johnson fighting it out, looking for leverage. And Benishuk and Colhoun now. Colhoun looking for a little bit of room. As penalty winds down, and we're going to get the attacker. Bauka's going to be able to come out here in 3 seconds' time. Baker now with a chance. Baker feeds back when that shot. And Wehadge was able to steer it harmlessly away. And now we're back to full strength. Thompson dumps in. He's going to go for a change. And big hit, and there's Hamilton. Shell on the receiving end of there, Kostyuk. And Kostyuk now with a little bit of an extra move there, but Hewitt able to stay on side. And now we've got a break up the ice from Mihailovic, and that pass is picked up and steered back in. Now Hewitt going into the corner, and Johnson coming through. Johnson able to pop it up, and he gets it into Ludwar's hands. Hamilton at the end board. Now a little bit of an opportunity for Black, and then a shot, and that goes right into the gut of Quinn Hilmer. And a full line change for Team Red. And we get Volk, Bernauer, and Colhoun. They will come out and see what they're able to do. Bring their hard hats out. This is the journeyman line here. They work by committee. And a big check there by Bulk. And maybe a little bit of a chirp at the end of it too, but Bulk with a little bit of physical presence, establishing some dominance in the corner there for Team Red. Bernauer following that puck through, and Volk now chips it forward to Bernauer. Bernauer knocked off the puck by Purdy, who gets it across up to Hewitt. Hewitt now in a foot race, and a pair of 17s there in the corner, and it'll go in. Desatel down from his center spot. And now that puck shot out, didn't hit anybody, but it does get to the crease, and Hilmer's just going to hang on to it and get a change in players. Bollier out, Niazik out, and it's going to be the Geiger, Benishuk, and Scheidel line. And Benishuk has been centering that. Face off to the right of Hilmer. And it looks like Geiger will take the face-off draw here. And he just chips it forward. And he knows when he goes into that corner there, he's going to have the advantage. And we got it. Benishuk got taken down hard into the boards. And Geiger looking at the give and go there. Can't quite through. And Bollier trying to drive it through. And he's not able to get it. And there is Trombley. Trombley back to Gray Fraser. Trombley now has a little bit of room. He's going to look at that pass in front, and he had a Florent coming in, pitching in from the blue line. It didn't get quite through to him. And now we've got Gray Fraser working his way back out, and he chips it in. And Bollier now with a little bit of time finds Geiger. Geiger had to turn back, and now Geiger all the way around to Scheidel, and Geiger's going to try to get a little bit of speed care. Scheidel, Team Red, just reversing it a few times, trying to find that break they need, and it goes up to Barry. Now Team Black settling it down, and Barry able to find an open teammate, and that is Kostyuk. And now Geiger taking a look, and Baker tips. Kostyuk putting a little bit of pressure, and Thompson lurking there. He got the first goal of the game. And now A little bit of a chip out, and Scheidel, he's got a bit of a break if he can get some leverage, and he's knocked off the puck by Barry. Both teams playing it really tight here. And neither of them showing, we haven't had any really serious chances, and so that is a huge contact by Hamilton. And he leaned in, and he's learned. He's hands lower on that particular instance. He was assigned earlier in the tournament, and I think even in the game, he got a head contact penalty. That time, he extended that big frame of his and lowered a boom, and now he's going to go and take a face-off draw. Johnson and Schuler on the point, looking to be the benefactors, and it'll go down to Mihailovic. And Mihailovic, he's able to chip it. And there is Boone Hamilton now. Boone taking a look. Hamilton's looking up, and he feeds it down to Schuler. Schuler with the long shot, and it drifts high over the net and into the back corner. And Johnson now tries to pinch, and they're able to keep it in, but now Desatel is able to get it forward, and we've got a break from Hewitt and Desatel. And Hewitt knew he's got two guys lining him up there, Johnson and Hamilton, and he is able to squeak through and get some forward momentum generated. The puck gets in front of Wehadge, but Keene can't get anything on there. And now we're gonna get Boak and Fitch. And so you've got Ludwar, Boak, and Hamilton. There is no relief out there if you're Team Black. You've got your head on a swivel. You got some guys who like to put some body on here, but Desatel, he is a solid player himself. Purdy with that chance and that opportunity, and a beautiful finish by Hewitt. And speed kills there. Team Black having the edge. Their explosive play, and I don't think I've seen them score that quickly from a draw. So they're showing a dimension of their game there. Just a great draw back to Purdy. Purdy putting a shot right into the net space, and Hewitt on the doorstep roofs it off the backhand, and he adds to it. And I think he's now either tied or in the lead of the tournament scoring. And Team Black, they pull forward, and we'll see what the response from Team Red's going to be here. Team Black quietly putting together a body of work here in the tournament. They almost lull you to sleep, and then they just explode. And that was a quick series. Three guys touching the puck, and it's in the back of the net in a hurry. And here's Red. You ever heard the term seeing red? And that is basically what they do after they get a goal scored against them. They do not take that lightly, and they're right back on that pushback. And we're going to see if Volk's able to capitalize on the face-off here. He's got Fitch back there and Volk. Both boys can shoot the puck. Bernauer waiting, and there's obviously an opportunity. Puck looks like it was won by Baker, and we'll see. And there's another break there, and that's an example of the speed that you got to be mindful of with Team Black. They've got finishers there. Team Red will try to intimidate you into leaving some open space there, but Team Black will just bide their time, and Colhoun comes in, and Team Black will wait for their chance, and then they burn you on that breakout. And Boak is going to take an opportunity. He's going to go around, and it puts it right on the stick of Team Black. Black. And so much of this is going to depend on which team allows the other to play their preferred game plan. Team Red wanting to make this a physical affair and use that size and speed advantage. And Team Black, their ability to break out and burn and score on the quick break. Thompson chips it forward, and we'll see which one. The more the teams allow the other to play their preferred system, the more we're going to see that outcome tip in their favor. And right now the ice is tilted towards Team Black. Team Red looking for a spark here, and we'll see. Occasionally they have found that spark either with some physical play, and we've even seen some physical play as a key for Team Red, resulting in a penalty for Red, and then that shorthanded goal opportunity. And we'll see if that's what it takes to break things loose. Team Black more than comfortable right here. They seem to be knowing that they are trusting their teammates, knowing that they've got the firepower that they need to score when they have to, but watching and keeping a guy like Geiger in check. And you can see Florent especially, he received some recognition in those after game recognition opportunities. And again, we've got Ritchie Brothers 3 stars that'll be selected later in the game, and we also have the Grit and Grind Award. And we'll talk a little bit about our sponsors in a bit as we get around, but right now most of the conversation being had is what's going on between these two teams here, Black and Red, and whether Red or whether Black is going to be able to contain. Typically when Red's had a little bit of a slow spot, it's been Geiger that's been on point to take matters into his own hands. And Team Black, though, to a player really fitting into their system and working hard. And just like in that last goal, it took all 3 of them on track. And a beautiful setup there. But I don't see any heads hanging in any of these cases, and they're all working. Geiger got a little shaken up, if you recall, back in the first period, and we'll see if he is able to get back to his form. He did not look like it had slowed him up very much. That could be just as much to do with Team Black's overall emphasis, especially down there, like the Cody Kolcheskis, and the Florence, and those strong play. Silvernagel, that D-core back there has been providing excellent spot, but there you go. And goal number 2 for Ludwar, and Ludwar left all alone there in front of the net, and he's not going to miss. That's the second time he's been unchecked there, and he's put it in. And we're back tie game. Shots on goal slightly in favor of Black still, but this game, back and forth affair. Now let's see if Team Red are able to use that momentum to grab a lead. That's been a bit of a challenge for them in this contest. Black enjoying the lead a few times, and Red having to play catch up here, but that has got to give them a bit of a boost for sure. And it's come off the stick of Ludwar twice. He had the first, and now he's got the go ahead. And so back is, I think that's Purdy, and he puts that right on the stick of Bernauer, and Bernauer, Purdy making up for it, picks up, and he's got the give and go, and Purdy now trying his hand at putting a little bit of offense. Desatel, he's going to choose to sit there. 3 guys in red trying to dig that puck out, and he needs a little bit of help, and there's Hewitt pulling that out. This is the line that scored that 3rd goal for Team Black a couple of minutes ago. And now Purdy has to go back, and Colhoun looks like he's got the jump on him. And Silvernagel is able to chip it forward. Hewitt can't get it out, pardon me. Keane can't get it, pop it loose here. And now Red starting to win a few more of those battles. And Fitch coming out. And this is about the time when Red has been able to go out, and this next line popping up. Likely to be putting a little bit of body on there, the Scheidel and Hamilton Ludwar line. And they are sitting there patiently waiting for their line mates to come and bring them off. Red, the guys that are out there at the moment, intent. Bernauer, he wins that battle, and they're starting to win a few more of those battles. Bernauer on his backside, and he's able to still get something to go. And now you got Kostyuk. And Kostyuk, he's tied up by the good stick check by Geiger. Very strong upper body, just strong overall player there. And Kostyuk kind of ran into that. And now here comes Scheidel with a head of steam. And Benishchuk and Barry coming back here now. And Barry's got a guy. And Barry, if you remember, he has got a quick release shot. Benson Barry probably got the fastest release of anybody in this tournament. He scored a few times with that quick release. A little bit of extra ice time on the power play for Team Black, and they are going to enjoy a power play opportunity after some head contact there. And Boak going to have to go back and spend some time there. But let's talk about that shot that Benson Barry has. He does not require a lot of release to do that, and he has caught. I recall a shot or a goal scored in the second game where I think he completely caught the goalie off guard. And all of us actually, his release so quick and so hard, you got to keep an eye out on that. And here he is anchoring that power play. Can't hold the line that time, and now Ludwar looking for his hat-trick goal. He will push that deep shell, putting a little body on Ludwar, and now Black will take an opportunity, and it's going to be Barry headmanning it up. Way up there is Gray Fraser. A lot of colorful names in the tournament. We've got a couple of Browns, we've got a Gray. Trombley now for Team Black. And Barry unable to get there, and now Ludwar, he just happy to put a little bit of pressure. And Barry, nice move by Barry, and there's that shot we talked about. And I'm sure his coaches are telling him we want to see more of that. Now we got a little bit of a mini break here. Mihailovic, and now we've got the break up the ice. And Barry with a little bit of, he's maybe out of gas. He comes to the line, and Trombley now across to Fraser. And we got that speed there that Black is capable of showing at any given time. And now reeling his way back up, Cody Kolcheski. Kolcheski tending to be a bit of a stay-at-home guy, and he was jumping into the play. Sometimes that's the break where a guy steps out of his usual character play. And Kolcheski showing that Desatel now with the feed in. Puck down low and a shot hard. Good view, and we were talking about that Florent pop down, and good vision there. He just can't quite get all of it, and he gets the side of the net there. But Kolcheski up to Florent, Florent to Hewitt. Florent just got a little bit of an introduction to Boone Hamilton. We might have to start calling him Boom Hamilton. And now Geiger and Hamilton, Johnson out there, and now Bauk is out, and we're back to full strength. And Hamilton, just like the easiest way for him to get the puck, he figures, is to just put a little bit of that big frame of his onto a play. But he seems to have found that right balance between his ability to stay in the play and his ability to use that body. And now there, look at this. That puck, that is going to be whistled off. Benischuk can't believe it, but a good solid call from the official. And really, it probably is the right one, because the goaltender was extended out there, Quinn Hilmer, and you want to make sure that that goalie is protected when he's got his blocker down like that. He may have had a little bit of space there, but we don't have a video probably replay on that, and that was the right call by Stripes. I know that Team Red probably won't agree with that, but when you got your goaltender extended like that and you've lost sight of the puck, you want to make sure that you end that before something serious happens for that young man. Anyways, back to play. Red starting to show, and they just have that wear down type feature. They will wear you down, and then when you basically lose focus, it's a bang bang situation, and we're getting close to that. We'll see if Black are able to withstand that pressure, that shot, and you just see it mounting. It's kind of like a pressure cooker, and you're watching that pressure build. Well, and there's Kostyuk taking a little bit of a tough stick, and he will go to the bench, get a little doctoring there. But Red just kind of, their game plan here is pressure, pressure, pressure. But Black, we've got Baker now, and Baker comes in there. He gets a little bit of a weak backhand. And Barry, oh, that hit Thompson, I'm sure. He looks like he recovered well, but I wouldn't want to be in front of a Barry shot. A Benson Barry shot, probably not going to feel very good. But we get to the end of this. We're going to give you a scoring summary in a moment, but the team scoring summary, 19 shots on goal for Team Red. It looked like 23 before it popped off here. Slight edge still for Team Black, but the score stands 3-3. We'll give you the first 2 periods scoring summary here. There have been 6 goals total. And so in the first, the game opened up. And we'll tell you, Red hitting the board first. And that was Camden Ludwar with his second of the tournament, off a feed from Boone Hamilton and Finn Johnston. And then a minute and a half later, Brooks Thompson nets his first goal, the Saskatoon product, receiving a feed from Keaton Kostyuk. And then Team Black pulling in the lead with Brecklin Berry second from Cyrus Shell and Gray Fraser. And then Kip Geiger with this 5th goal brings Team Red back on there with Reed Scheidel. And then in the second, things going back and forth. And then in the second half, Jordan Hewitt puts his 5th in off a feed from Ollie Purdy. And that one was a beautiful backhand goal. Nolan Keane having the face-off win there, and he got the second assist. And then we've got Camden Ludwar with his 3rd of the tournament, 2nd of the game, from a feed from Alexei Mihailovic and Finn Johnson. That Mihailovic's 5th assist of the game. We'll be back to you after a short break here for the 3rd and exciting finish of this game. Alrighty, we are back for period 2, and you can see Team Red chomping at the bit, and I'm sure Team Black getting every ounce of that break to talk about how they are going to continue to execute the game plan that they came into this with, keeping check on the high potent offense while also being able to play a good defensive game but use their speed too. And so right now the score would suggest that neither team has had the opportunity to exert their full game plan for the entire duration of the game. At times it's been Red showing their physicality, and then it's been Black with that counterpunch. So something's got to give here in the next 20 plus minutes. And so I, for one, am pretty excited. This is the third game in a row here where we have had a very tight contest, and it's only going to get tighter as the tournament goes on. So as a fan of this tournament, I am delighted to see how it has developed here, and let's strap in now and see who is able to exert their will a little bit more. Thompson puts that puck down into Red's end. And it'll be interesting to note, we haven't seen as many of the huge collisions administered by Team Red, and I think that's because they have to respect the speed of Black. Black tending to be explosive in their ability to put the puck in the net. Team Red has just ground down both Gray and Black in their previous experiences, and that strategy we're going to see here if it works against Black. Look at Kostyuk showcasing that speed. Calhoun and Kostyuk maybe, I guess, just deciding that he also wants to remind us that Black likes to put a little body on there too. And that puck dangerously making its way to the front. Both teams a minute in, taking the opportunity to go with that wholesale change. Just a reminder, we've had some amazing sponsors assisting us. Boston Pizza being one of them. When you want to celebrate big or just enjoy a great meal with the team, Boston Pizza, the place to be. Proudly Canadian, Boston Pizza known for its family-friendly vibe, delicious menu, and commitment to the community. And I may just go there to the Martensville location for lunch after this game is over. Ludwar with 2 goals in the game already finds the puck on his stick. Mihailovic centering pass, and it will go all the way over. And Fitch now, he picks it up, feeds it right straight into that dangerous area and off the helmet of Hilmer. And Fitch almost getting in on the goal scoring, and now we've got Florent. We did mention earlier some of the players. Florent has tended to be a very defensively minded player, and it may be a guy like that stepping up and doing something out of character. And he went in, drove the puck, delivered a collision, and so far Black taking a bit of a page out of Red's book, and they have had the first 2 hits in the period, and we'll see whether Red can come back and play that dominant style game that they are liking and enjoy. And so Ludwar, he's out, and Mihailovic able to get that puck in. Florent now, he sees Hamilton there. You can see him look over, and Hamilton just reminds him, you're going to touch the puck when I'm out there and you're in the corner. You're going to feel it when you come out. And so now we'll see. Here's Red's style. Geiger and Hamilton being paired back with Ludwar. A line change for Team Red. And look at this. Here's Geiger, and he gets that shot blocked, and another shot. So as mentioned, Team Red and their coach is not afraid to move things around a little bit, whereas everybody else, for the most part, have ridden the line combos that they've carried in. We've seen some juggling here, and now we've got Scheidel and Benishak and Geiger. So perhaps that was just a change in line that had that configuration. We're back to that lineup, and that puck, Scheidel might have felt that a little bit awkwardly. Let's get a big shout out to Focus Goaltending, leaders in elite goalie development and proud supporters of UMH-68 Saskatchewan. They are providing some feedback to our 8 goaltenders this weekend as part of their sponsorship. highlighting all the strengths and possibilities of our Minders, and we are pleased to have them join us again, shaping the next generation of elite goaltenders. Focused goaltending. It's hard getting these reads in for their sponsors just because it's so, anything can happen at any time, and you don't want to miss any of the action here. Geiger with that puck back, and now he ends up on the ice in black with a little bit of an advantage here. Gray Fraser gets in behind the defender, and he can't get much on the shot with the stick in play there, and now Scheidel pops it up to Geiger. Geiger with that shot, and wow. And even he was impressed, I think, with himself. He was pretty happy. That one tucked in, a goal scorer's goal, and Team Red now enjoy their first lead of the game, courtesy of goal scoring leader Geiger. I think that's his 6th tally if my count is correct, and that either puts him in a tie or in the outright lead, and that was a beauty. We were talking about Benson Barry's quick release skill, and here he goes. He wants to showcase that himself too. But Geiger's ability to rip that puck on full display there. Now Calhoun and his line looking to get out there and see if they can't expand. And this is where they've been deadly in this tournament, just finding a way to score in bunches. But Black looking, they don't look like they are going to back down in any way. And here's Volk now in a battle on the boards. Barry, puck chipped forward, Shell now in the corner, and that puck comes out. Thompson able to put it up onto the stick of Baker, and Thompson goes out. Hewitt comes in, and Hewitt can put the puck in the back of the net too. Team Red gonna have to keep tabs on him as he comes out. And all the way back to Shell. And Shell fires it up. Baker now gets a chip into the zone. And Hewitt in there with Kostyuk, I believe. And I might have gotten that mixed up. And it is, in fact, it's Kostyuk. And Calhoun starting to put a little pressure. Baker just trying to get it out and look for a change. And so Fitch and Schuler both back for Team Red. And Mihailovic able to go in there, and Keane takes a swipe at it, and now coming up is Fitch. And now Desatel up to Hewitt. And Desatel also with a bit of a scoring touch, and another contact collision by Hamilton. And Hamilton, ooh, that's a tough spot. And then Hamilton puts a boom into Boone. And that shot hard on Wehadge. And a little bit of after scrum there. And that's, you can see in that replay, Hamilton just getting that big leverage and knocking the player right to the ice surface. And you always got to have that in the back of your mind, that you're going into the corner when that line is on. You got to keep your head on a swivel. And that is an edge that Red has been employing. And now you see Ludwar able to come out. Just that little bit of extra. And here's some room. It buys a little extra space in those puck battles for maybe a little bit smaller stature guy, but speed with Mihailovic. And Boone and Hamilton ends up on the ice. So, and now Mihailovic, he finds a little bit of space there. Keane puts a little bit of a space on there. And now Boone Hamilton gets a little bit of a chip, and Desatel. And now Mihailovic looking for a little bit of space here, and he gets it to Ludwar. Ludwar with the shot. And you know, he's going to want to try to get that hat-trick goal if he has an opportunity. And Ludwar's shot turned aside by Hilmer. And we are starting to see a little bit of that customary after the whistle jockeying, just trying to find that little bit of an edge that they can get a hold of to widen the lead here or to get back into the game. And a lot of it is on those little details. And Scheidel with the shot. It hit the crossbar, I think. And now we've got Gray Fraser. Fraser taking a look, and he just content to put it just a little bit wide. And Silvernagel, he dumps it into the corner. Fraser chips it on to Thompson. And Thompson knocked off the puck by Geiger, and now here comes Scheidel. And he's got Geiger in the trail, and Geiger calls for it, and he can't pull the trigger on that one. And now Team Black, Trombley back. Fraser and Trombley both coming to the bench after a quick shift there. Baker, Thompson both coming out now. And Kostyuk will join them. And Kostyuk jumps into that line having scored a goal. And that goes for an icing call, and we have an opportunity to thank Weatherspoon Realty. Since 2009, Weatherspoon Realty's award-winning team has been helping clients navigate every step of their real estate journey with confidence, recognized worldwide, whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying your first home. Trust the team that delivers results, and that is Weatherspoon Realty. Scheidel now finding a little bit of space, but he is hounded by Team Black. And Black able to get it up. Baker now pops back to Thompson. Thompson in front there, and it's a goal. And Black right back in it. This line finding a way, working as 3 even opportunities, and that is a full line. Kostyuk, the recipient of that time. Baker, Kostyuk, Thompson, second goal for that line in the game, and it's a big one. Brings them back even, 5-5. And like we've said, something's going to break. Each team sort of enjoying some momentum, not allowing the other to get a foothold in the game. And Black now back in it, and the fans pretty excited on out here supporting that and supporting them. And Baker fires one into Wehage, and Wehage able to grab that and put it down. And we're now almost 6 full games into the tournament, and we have not seen what I would describe as a weak goal surrendered by our goaltenders. Every single one of these tallies has been on either a very good defensive or series of offensive plays or just an individual hard shot effort, but nothing has gotten past these goalies without the effort, a little bit of effort. Now we got Colhoun, and Colhoun trying to get in there, and he's wrapped up by Shell, and Shell's gonna get tapped on that one. We'll see it, whether looks like it's probably gonna be a hook, and yep, that's the call. And Red now, every advantage here, a huge one, and this is a big opportunity for Team Red. And Boone Hamilton will take the face-off draw here. Who's going to take the draw for Team Black? You get the number here. And it looks like Team Black is going to have Desatel with that. And Desatel, looks like Black comes out. Florent can't get it past, and then Florent gets it out. And Hamilton taking a look back. He put another body on there, and now we've got Desatel content to put some pressure up there. And Ledwar, he'll bring it across to Hamilton. Hamilton drops it for Boak, and Boak puts it into the corner. And Ledwar taking a look, and that gets centered and off a stick and in front, and Hilmer with the vision to cover it up. 4-4 the score, 11:05. This is where it's nice to be a fan of the game itself and not have to necessarily worry about either sort. I'm sure fans, as they get closer, these are the tough ones to watch, because it'll be a slight mistake. That's all it's going to separate these two teams from one another. Geiger, he can't find that centering pass. Can't find anybody, and Fitch will have to recar and make his way back. Fitch now being hounded by Fraser. Great forecheck on the penalty kill by Gray Fraser. Fitch, taking exception, decides he's going to take him out of that and put the puck onto Bouk's stick, and now Bouk coming in, and he takes a shot, the rebound, and that one stays out. And I love the flip there from Hilmer. He's like, I'm having none of that, and he fires that puck out. Team Red seemed to think there may have been a case suggesting that they had the advantage there, but Hilmer, and you're wondering where the puck got to, and Hilmer had just thrown it away, and he's like almost in disgust, like, get that thing out of here. And the score stays not at 4-4. Beaulier now holding it onto the line, and he gets it across, but he can't hold it. And Miodzik and Beaulier will have to go back and look, and Kendrick there, or is it Kostyuk? I think it might be the goal scorer, Kostyuk. No, it's Kendrick. Kendrick out there in the PK unit, and Beaulier for the Martensville product forced to get back 200 feet away from the black goaltender, and that's great. Forecheck pressure. Now Trombley also looking to get in there, and coming across is Scheidel. He slips, and now Trombley, he's going to look to burn some time, and a smart flip in, and he goes, and that's it for the power play. Back to even strength, 9:30 to go. Very little separating these two. It's been an even affair. Both teams enjoying a lead, and both teams coming back and tying the game up. So just a reminder that if the game is still tied at the end of regulation, that we will have a 5-minute 3v3 format, and we have yet to answer what the tiebreaker is, so it could be interesting. We've got time, so we'll see what tournament director Hamilton and Podolin have in store if we can't come up with a solution here after regulation and OT. That puck, though, fired all the way down, and it's going to come back. Every face-off now being very important. Calhoun has been excellent on the dot, and we'll see who he lines up against. And Team Black putting up Keaton Kostyuk, and Kostyuk is the better on that one. He wins that. And Kolcheski getting a little bit of support from his centerman, and that puck popped out. And whoa, that one was a big move, and that actually creates some room for Brooks Thompson. Thompson with a shot. And you got to be very careful when you step into a check like that, that you don't get yourself out of position, and that might have been one of those instances. Brooks Thompson showing the opportunity to score, and he has the first one of the game, and he was looking out of that. Desatel now, he'll come out and take the draw against Calhoun, and Desatel chips it forward. Volk able to get a little bit of room. Now we got three red players, and good work by Florent. He had no room for a mistake there, as he had three guys on his tail, and Bernauer now looking to get in there, and Kolcheski able to knock him loose. And now Hewitt, and Hewitt has put the puck in the net a couple of times here, and he gets a little bit of space there, looking for numbers. Desatel with an opportunity, and he has a quick release shot there from Desatel, and we had to be careful. And now we've got a 2-on-1 back. Calhoun not quite able to corral that puck, and it comes back to Bouk, and he will give an opportunity. Now Bouk seeing some room, and he has got some speed on him, and Bouk making a chance in there, getting that pass out in front, and Bernauer, good stick from the goaltender. He hits that out of harm's way. No possible rebound But Boone Hamilton trying to hold the line, he can't. And now Red, Bernauer can't pull it in. A little choppy play here. Kendrick and Boak looking for a way, and Boak pops it up, and it gets into his own bench, and we'll see Ludwar come and join his line. And so we've got Hamilton, Ludwar, and Mihailovic out, and we got Kendrick, Shell back on defense. Trombley, Kendrick, and Fraser, it looks like, out for Team Black. That puck won cleanly by Team Red, and Bauk will have it out. And now Ludwar, he's had a solid game here, 2 goals. And Hamilton, now Hamilton with a shot. And there had to be a quick on the ball. Hilmer keeping his team in it. Black holding a very narrow margin on the shot category, but that one was a dangerous one, and Hilmer stood his ground. And now Hamilton takes the draw. And now one comes out, Kostyuk and Hamilton. Puck stays in. And Thompson now able to get it up, and Kostyuk into the hands of Thompson, and Thompson takes a look here, and he's having some struggle. Both teams playing very aggressive forechecks, doing their job, not allowing the other to get any kind of momentum through the neutral zone. And now Barry, he will try to make some room for himself, and he is stymied. And it'll come back to Shell, and Shell puts it on the stick of Ludwar. Ludwar now able to come in, but Red is offside. And 6:09 to go. Both teams looking for that break they need. Now Hamilton, who's going to provide the spark here? Ludwar, will it be one of the usual suspects, or is it going to be an unconventional hero stepping out of their role and doing something different to break the deadlock? And Team Black not getting a break here. They have to bring out the players. And Barry and Purdy will go back. They don't look too winded here, so as we were saying, is it going to be one of our recognized game breakers, or is it going to be somebody stepping into a role normally to become the hero? And with each tick of the clock, it gets a little bit more tense here. And Barry steps up from his defensive role, and that puck in front, Baker, he could have been one of those guys. He has not found the back of the net yet, but he has shown his ability. Purdy, also one of those guys, those unsung guys, and that puck hard off the face mask. And Hilmer just gives it a little shrug, and he seems to be okay for that. But here comes Baker now. And Baker taking a look. He continues on, and he puts a shot on net, and he wants off. And good team play there. Keane now. Keane with the goal in the tournament. He could be the one that breaks this thing open too. And you got to feel like we could be getting close to that. Not quite overtime yet, but that next goal is going to be massive. And Barry, both teams kind of, you can see a little bit of, they've gotten a little bit more careful than they were perhaps earlier in the game. But Barry, using his speed, and Barry's coming in there, and he takes a shot, and that went off the face mask too. Probably 2 of the hardest, and there's a goal. And we said, no, what? Oh, it was an ice save. We were offside. And we're gonna see that one, and I wanna see that one in a replay. Watching the replay here, and that shot, yeah, very clearly, that one went out past the blue line, and we can see that. They're not going to go for the replay, but Stripes basically got that one right. It came out. Kolcheski would have loved to have had that one go, and we said, me said, it could be an unlikely hero, but unfortunately, there were a few Black players, and they were in the offside position, and wisely so, the officials making the right call there. And so we'll see mindset being such a big focus of this weekend and trying to keep your head into a variety of situations. This is a wonderful opportunity for these boys to play in a high-stakes game where you are going to have to be mistake-free if you're going to want to win this thing, and you certainly don't want to make a mistake when a player like Calhoun is there, and he got a little bit of a look there. Calhoun's been so solid, Porter. Calhoun, the White City, Saskatchewan product, playing just outside of Regina. And that gets covered up. And Team Red probably feeling like they dodged one there, although the goaltender, Weehay, probably not happy that he let that one in, but also the circumstances will let him live that one without a consequence. That's the kind of goal that might be the one that makes the difference here. I'd be ashamed to have it that way, but there has to be someone has to break the deadlock here. And it could be Ludwar. He's already had the hot hand twice. And a pass in, Fraser can't quite make much with it. And Boak, that puck now through to Hamilton. And Hamilton, he's got a little bit of a gap here, and he shoots, and nope, Hilmer says, no thank you. I will calmly snags that out of the air. And that's been the kind of game that it's been. There have been some open opportunities, but when you think about the firepower out there on the ice at the moment, to have it only 4-4 really talks to that. And there, Fred Geiger scores, and there we go. And that is a beautiful finish you're going to see. And you got that frame and that ability. He is fired up for sure. What a finish. He had no space. He was basically inside a telephone booth's worth of space there, and he roofs it. And that is a pretty goal. And will it be enough to put them over the top, or has Black got some extra late game heroics that they can throw in here? They have shown a determination to continue to go. And Koscheck now, there is a lot of time left in this game for Team Black. No time to really worry about getting upset. We also have, we'll start keeping an eye on Weehage there. Pardon me, on Hilmer. Weehage isn't going anywhere, but Hilmer has been fantastic. Both goalies having been really tough. And that was a tough shot, and he made that happen, and the referees calling it before it escalates a little too far, and they're going to get a face-off to the left. And let's see, Desatel, Hewitt, and Keane, they might provide that spark that Team Black are looking for. And the draw one, and now Florent just chips it. Oh, sorry, that was Barry. And it could be Barry. He has had, Benson Barry's had a number of looks trying to get free. He is one of those big play guys that could burst this thing and bring it back on track. Oh, that one was, I would call that an errant pass. Could have been costly, but Miyadzik now puts it back in, and this is where Barry likes to start to build up some momentum, and he's going to take a look. He doesn't see anybody. He's really wanting to give it to Hewitt, but Hewitt content to let Barry carry it up. And there's the body from Team Red, and let's see if he can get through. Keane now staying back to play a little bit of defense while Barry works his way up, and Keane solid on defense there too, and that shot just content to fire it back in with 1:41. We're going to start keeping an eye on Team Black's goalie, and we'll see. I think it's going to probably be, oh wow. This is entertaining hockey. Mihailovic. And you've got to think that if we can get an offensive pass or offensive face-off or some momentum where it looks like Team Black's going to carry it through, we will see Hilmer making his, and we've got coach there. We're watching the coach. He is waiting. And this is a tough call here. You've got some guys who can break that puck up the ice. There's going to be required, not really an opportunity yet, and that might be Red's best interest, is just to try to take that decision out of the coach's hands and keep that puck down low, play, and now the call. And here comes Thompson. He had the game opener, and will he get that equalizing goal? And that's puck loose. Oh, Ludwar with the 2 goals, and he may have just won the game here for Red. He pulled that one, and that goes out, but referees are going to allow it to go. And now Ludwar with the long shot, and it's wide. Team Black looking like they were going to even it out. And a timeout there, but if you look, Camden Ludwar, he got a stick on it, and that puck looked like it was going in, and he may have saved that temporarily for Team Red. Doing it on the backside of things after scoring 2 goals to get his team into the position that they are. That puck looked like it was working its way in. Pretty exciting finish here, and of course the winner of this game is going to move forward as the 1st seed, and the loser will take on that 2nd seed position and have the opportunity to play in that final game tonight, in that 2-3 game. And a little bit of play call, and we'll see Coach Cam getting down there, and let's see what Team Black. And that same play call, 10th times for Team Red, although they do have the lead. Who are you going to call here with this goal? I see if that gets back on Barry's stick. Barry's got that release capability, and you might just see that fired shot. And there's that shot. And Barry, they're going to look to see if they can get that on his stick again. You watch. They move him and chip him over to that side. So I think the goal here is to try to get that puck onto his stick, drive it hard in, and you get 2 guys crashing down and see if they can generate something. But you're going to need a face-off draw, and you can see, keep your eyes on 13. And there we go. Watch the shot. Oh! Well, they got the shot, but Barry unable to get it. He was aiming there, and Team Red, disappointment on Black's side. But that one came right down to the wire, and that's what we were expecting to see here. Now we're going to have Team Red will be taking on Team Gray in the semis, and we're going to see Team Black taking on Team Blue in the later game. Stick around. We're going to have the Grit and Grind Award winner and the 3 stars. That one, I am glad I'm not picking any of those 4 spots. How do you select 4 players in a field of 32 guys that all contributed? A fantastic effort here, and I didn't pay any admission to get in here. None of us paid an admission to get in, and we got our money's worth and more for sure. So, tournament directors will be out here in a moment. And this is my favorite. You watch Hugh Hamilton. I'm going to get a little fun on him, having his one and only jog. You can see him working his way across there right now, and we're going to have our Game Award winners. And I have a little fun here trying to figure out who they're going to pick, but it is anyone's guess as to who are going to pick these. It's Geiger, of course, with some huge goals there. He's already picked up some hardware as well, but they may elect to go back his way again. And we're going to do the Grit and Grind Award first. Grit and Grind goes to, from Team Red, number 25, Johnson. Finn Johnson picking up. And that's a good selection here. He is so solid. The Esterhazy product. And the stars go, third star. The Ritchie brothers' third star from Team Black, number 13, yeah, Brecklin Berry, and he has a cannon for a shot there. And nice to get an individual award, but I'm sure he would have liked the team win on that one. But there's lots of hockey left to play here. Second star from Team Red. 2 goals, number 96. And Ledouard, he was the one who he had the original scoring. Second star to Camden Ledouard, and the first star and $40 gift card to Sports from Team Red, number 7. And Geiger, and he has been all over this weekend, really just exerting his influence. And you can see as we get deeper in, teams spending more and more time trying to prevent him from getting the space he needed, and he didn't need a lot. He was the difference maker, and he pulls in your first star. Once again, we will see you all back here again. Tune in for the evening set. The broadcasts will start shortly before 4:15 when we see Team 1 taking on Team 4, and that is going to be Gray taking on Red, and that is going to be an interesting one because Gray were able to put the puck in the net when they played Red. Nothing's given here at UMH-68, and we appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you later on this afternoon.